Hello my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday the 13th of April 2025. I'm very sorry last week I couldn't make a video, and today's video is for adults only. We're going to talk about Islam and the Prophet of Allah. May the blessing of Allah be upon him. So we talk about the Prophet of Allah. There is sex and stuff. So if any child in the room, please ask the children to leave. Okay. I received a video that is normally, it's about an Islamic clerk, Muslim clerk speaking with a Muslim anchor on TV. There is an organization, it's called Memory. They take these strange videos and they translate them and they put subtitle in English and sometimes in different languages so that people can see the nonsense that it is happening in the Islamic among Islamic clerks and Islamic people too. Okay, I'm aware of the Quranic verse that speaks of that thing. What is it? It is the Quranic verse. It's chapter 4 verse 34. I'm going to put it in the description box. And what it says, it is, you have to read the few translations that are there to get. I'm going to give you my own translation. I pulled it out, and you can also read the translation. Honestly, it's not an honest one. They try to sugarcoat it, okay? And the anchor, while he was questioning this Islamic clerk to beautify his own action and to put some makeup because it looks so bad, he starts talking about Europe and women in the UK, that 90% of women in the UK want a strong man. I tell you what, I live in America. 100% of the American women want a strong man. 100% of European women want a strong man. China, pick up any country. Women in these countries want a strong man. That's not an exception. However, he is using that to kind of like show you off that, you see, because of weak men in Europe and in these infidel countries, they're in a mess. He needs strong men who can beat up his wife. Okay, I'm going to translate that Quranic verse. Men, the word translated after men is they are in charge of women. But the Arabic word qawamun, it means they stand vertical, and my own understanding, if they are vertical, they are directly, they have direct connection with the Allah because they are standing vertical. Qawamun means standing vertical, and therefore they have the right to do so many things that women have to listen, obey, and say thank you very much. Okay? Look, I am not against women listening to their husbands, and vice versa. We are supposed to listen to one another. Okay? We are supposed to help one another. There's nothing wrong with that. If the husband listens to the wife or the wife listens to the husband, you will never have a successful marriage without listening to one another and addressing the problem between each other and try to find a solution. I'm not against any of that. But the way it's expressed here, it's nonsense, okay? Men are in charge, meaning she has to obey whatever you say. And in this video, it was about the right for man to beat up his wife. And this crazy guy was saying, this is a the name of the title of the video is the veneration of women by beating them up. So you venerate women, or you glorify women, or you honor women by beating them up. It beats me, but you try to put that together yourself. Okay? So in that Quranic verse, it says, men are above women. You know, if sometimes, yes. Okay? If a man has the right idea, yes, his idea, and the wife does not have the right idea. Sometimes my kids have better ideas than me. It's not because I'm the father, I must, my word has to be the ultimate word. No. If they have better idea, why not listen to them? They studied in certain subject more than me, so they may have a better idea. There's nothing wrong with that. And the same thing with my wife. If she studied more in that subject and she has a better idea, why not listen to her? No. The Prophet of Allah said, you are vertical, you are the one who is nonsense. So, the Allah put you in a better position to subjugate the wife. Okay? Because you are the one who pay for her food. You are the one who is feeding her. Therefore, she has to obey. And in this video, near the end, this clerk, Muslim clerk, is saying, you don't beat up your wife over anything. No. If she, let's say, you told her to cook chicken and she cooked beef, that's okay. You don't need to even say anything. It's not a big deal. The other is, if you think she's going to go against you in any way or not to follow you 100%, first thing, you tell her not to do that. Even if her idea is the best idea or the better idea than yours, tell her not to do that. Because you are the man and you are the vertical central point with the Allah and the Prophet. So she shouldn't listen to you. You shouldn't listen to her, and she has to obey, even if you are wrong. You are connected with the Allah. Okay? So, if you feel that she is going to go against that grain or that fabric or that way of thinking, the first thing, you talk to her, tell her not to do that. Even if I'm wrong, don't do that. Number one. Number two, you don't have intimate relationship with her in bed. You let her leave the room. Either you sleep in another room or let her sleep in another room. Don't touch her. The third thing is, if she insists on that, this is the time that you beat her up. And some people now, the clerk, they say, but you don't beat her up like you hit her hard. No. Moderate beating. Each one has an idea about the moderate beating. And the beating, it's a beating anyway. So, that thing here, because you feed her, you are taking care of her, she's staying in your home, she has to listen to you. Actually, if I have a mate at home, that's different. I give direction, and the mate, whether it's a man or woman, or whenever you order something, let's say custom made from a store, they have to follow your direction. But that's not your spouse. With your spouse, you can, let's say you are redecorating your home, and you have an idea to do the window this way, and the wife has another idea. You can discuss it. Why is this way better? And you end up with the right decision. So this man was saying the last step is you beat her up. And you don't beat her up over anything, no. And here is a contradiction, because he is saying you don't beat her up because she didn't cook the best meal you want. You don't beat her up because of she didn't clean the house or anything of that nature. No, you beat her up when you ask her to come to bed to have sexual relationship with her, and she tells you, probably I'm tired. I'm not in the mood. I have headache. You try to convince her first using words. If she doesn't obey, then this is the contradiction. Let her sleep outside, not in the bed. And this what practically, if she tells you I'm not in the mood, she doesn't want to be with you at this moment. So if you tell her, okay, I'm not going to let you sleep in the bed, or I'm going to sleep on the couch outside, this is what she wants. And then it's clear contradiction. He tells you the third step, if you leave the room and she doesn't have intercourse with, sexual intercourse with you, then you beat her up. I thought you are going to leave the room. No. There is no leaving the room. She has to give herself to you at this moment, or beating. And by beating, it means he can beat her to pulp until she is unable to control anything. She's out of it, she is knocked out, and he can use her at this moment. And this Muslim clerk is saying the Allah venerated women by allowing the husband to beat them up, by allowing them to be humiliated like that. Then the Allah is happy. And the excuse here, they tell you Allah venerated women so much. Don't look at beating them up, because there is a reason for that, but because Allah respect women so much, and the Prophet of Allah respect women so much, that the Allah send a Quranic verse called Women, which is chapter, a whole chapter in Quran called An-Nisa, means women. Okay, the same Allah, he sent a chapter about domesticated animals. Do they rise up to the same level as women, or women a little bit lower in the Quranic stuff? He also sent a chapter about bees, bumblebees and all bees. He sent a chapter about ants, the insects, the spider, the itsy bitsy spider. He sent a chapter about spider. Okay, smoke. He sent a chapter about smoke. I guess maybe the Allah was predicting the coming of tobacco later on, when the America was discovered, and Christopher Columbus came to America, and he found out the Native American here smoke tobacco. Iron, the metal. Allah venerated metal. The hypocrites, they have a chapter in Quran. The elephant, the infidels, all these people, they have chapter in Quran. Do they have the same respect as women, the animals, the insects? So all these, it's not only one clerk, there are many clerks, and all of them, I chose this video because it has subtitles, so you can read what they are saying. Okay, and what they are saying, what they are trying to tell people is they are trying to convince people that beating a woman in Islam, it has a reason and it's a good and valid one, and everyone should follow it. And the European countries, the Western culture, whether it's Europe, America, or Eastern, whether it's Japan, South Korea, Korea, North and South, all these Eastern countries, they are failing, not like us succeeding in the Islamic countries, because they are not following the Prophet, the words of the Prophet of Allah. Okay? If they do, they will reach the same height as the Muslim countries. So they are not really coming out to say that beating a woman is bad. They are trying to convince the rest of humanity to beat their women, to beat their wives. This is good. It will bring us to a better place in in the human world. So we here in front of the dilemma. With the coming of the internet, I believe Muslim clerks and all Muslim institutes, they are aware that their days are numbered. So they are trying, they know that they will collapse pretty soon. Okay? The fact that United Arab of Emirates, which is in the Gulf region, and Saudi Arabia, where Islam started, both of them turned 180 degrees from this nonsense. There are still few countries holding on. And holding on because it gives this stuff, gives power to the authority, to the leader, to the dictator. Okay? Egypt is one of them. And Egypt is Egypt in the middle, in the Muslim world, is probably like America in the rest of the world. To the Muslim people and to the Muslim community, Egypt is the flag bearer of this nonsense. So even though Islam started in Saudi Arabia, Islam in its truest sense now is in Egypt. I think with the second coming of Trump, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, he's our second coming. Iran is hanging in a balance. Iran represents the Shia power. And it is very clear. It is very clear. President Trump does not play games. And he said it very clearly. You are not going to have nuclear bombs. You are not going to have any nuclear power. Period. Finished. This is non-negotiable. So you want to continue? You give that project completely. You give it up completely. So the Shiite has been declosed. He will pull the fangs, the canines, and the claws out of this Shiite sect in Islam. Saudi Arabia, the Gulf region, with the Abraham plan that started in his first term, it will continue. It will continue, and everybody will submit. It's not out of fear, but actually this ideology did not bring us anywhere that we can be proud of. No, it's all destruction, all theft and looting and raping. Until now, Sudanese women in Yemen, in Sudan, in Yemen, in Iraq, in Libya are raped by Muslims. And they are Muslims, most of them. If you are Christian, you have no right at all. Or if you are Jewish or atheist, you are fair game for them. So Iran is already in the head of President Trump. And I don't think these 4 years will pass unless he makes 100% sure that Iran has no more nuclear power. All will be dismantled. The only country, in my opinion, that it needs to be declosed, one way or another, is the Islamic ideology in Egypt, or you can say Egypt. So that is the goal. And in my opinion, when I see things, it's hopeful, because this ideology, regardless of how much they are trying to package it to people that it's wonderful, it is sickening. It's not wonderful. Thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you.